liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 9:10 a.m. I'd also just like to note that Commissioner Hertzler is traveling across the country with his daughter and is unable to participate. Cell phone connectivity and all that, but we wish him a great and safe trip, and will be joining us in the near future. I'd like to open it up to any public comments. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda items number 3 and 4. I'd like to call on Ms. Dana Best to discuss the 2018-19 fiscal budget. Ms. Best?
On Monday, we'll be requesting approval of the fiscal budget. It is about a $95 million budget. It is mostly the human services, and it is comprised of about 89% grant funding and 6% county general fund funding. Of course, the state hasn't approved their budget yet. We'll be doing adjustments and amendments as that is available.
Got good at that.
I'm sorry?
You've gotten good at that.
We have gotten good at that.
Teaching the class. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on the fiscal budget? Seeing none, I just want to compliment staff on how well they have put together the fiscal budget. And Ms. Best, do you want to discuss the budget resolution 2018-13?
Yes, the nursing home is requesting to increase their budget, their expenditure by $620,900, and that is transferring funding to the general fund.
Are there questions on that budget resolution? All right. Seeing none, I'll move on to agenda item number 5, which is I'll call on Commissioner D. Filippo to discuss a support letter for Cumberland Valley Rails and Trails. Commissioner?
Yes, the Rails and Trails Council is requesting a letter of support from the Board of Commissioners regarding some grant money they want to try to obtain in order to resurface the original 10 miles of the trail to be done in 2 phases. We have a letter, it will need to be slightly revised. I'd like to have the letter of support approved on Monday for signature, and certainly entertain any questions.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
We will schedule it for Monday and make the necessary edits. Next, I'll call on Ms. Moyle regarding contracts and grants. Ms. Moyle, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. Thank you. Agenda item 6, Roman numeral 1, A through C are existing contracts, contract extensions, or addendum with no additional cost or increase to the county, and they include the following departments: Aging and Community Services Agreements, Claremont Nursing and Rehabilitation Center Agreements, and Public Safety Agreement. Commissioners, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding any of the above-mentioned agreements? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 6, Roman numeral 2, which consists of new contracts, vendors, services, grants, and contracts with increases and decreases to the county. We begin by calling on Christine Bowden, followed by Jim Kroll, joining us video teleconference to discuss the grant and agreements for aging and community services. Christine and Joan.
Good morning. I'm discussing the grant for Wendy Schaefer. This is a new contract for a person to do additional information and referral and person-centered counseling on a part-time basis of 2 days a week.
Are there any questions, Commissioner? Okay, Christine, you can move on.
Okay, the first thing I have is we have a partnership agreement. We received a $2,400 grant from Partnerships for Better Health for Patrice Pickering and Kelly Crawford to attend the national conference in Washington, D.C. in July, and it's on ending homelessness. The $2,400 will be spent on registration, hotel, meals, parking, and they will be using the agency car.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the second one is, we received a partnership agreement with the Housing Authority so that we can receive referrals from them through the consolidated entry system. And the referral will be for those who are at imminent risk of homelessness. Again, those referrals would go to Patrice Pickering and Kelly Crawford, and there is no money involved in this agreement.
Any questions, Commissioners? Thank you, Christine and Joan.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to agenda item B and call on Jamie, who will be discussing the agreement between Children, Youth, and White Deer Run. Okay, Jamie?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is our contract with White Deer Run doing business as Torrance Cove Prep. This is a secure adolescent sexual offender program for males. They did increase their rate this year, $4.52. However, we have not used them at all this fiscal year. We use them very infrequently. But their rates are comparable to our other sexual offender programs.
Any questions for Jamie? Thank you, Jamie. Agenda item C, Colin Sherman will be discussing the agreement between Human Resources and Dr. Wayne Ross. Commissioners, please note that this is an action requested item for today. Colin?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a insurance policy, a professional liability insurance policy for Dr. Ross, who conducts the autopsies for the coroner's office, and is a term of the contract that the coroner's office has with Dr. Ross that we provide the insurance coverage for him. The current policy expires tomorrow. That is what the reason for the request for the action today. And this is an increase of about 14% from the prior policy.
Any questions for Holly?
Holly performs autopsies other than Cumberland County.
That is correct, but this policy is specific to the autopsies he performs just for Cumberland.
Just for Why is he's coming to us so late?
It is a process that started towards the end of March, beginning of April, and we just got the quote about 3 weeks ago. It's not uncommon for insurance quotes to come in. It was just the timing of the meetings with the policy that we had to push it forward today.
That wasn't blaming you specifically, just placement. Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, thank you, Holly.
We need a motion, all right, is there a
Oh,
motion to approve the insurance renewal?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thanks.
thank you. Thank you, Holly. Next, move on to agenda item D and call on Sylvia to discuss the agreement between NHIBD and Riverside Associates.
This is a contract addendum for the current fiscal year for services that Riverside provided over contract amount, and it's over a $3,000 increase. They provide outpatient services. They provide in-home behavior therapy services. So they are typically utilized for state hospital discharge individuals, and they will go to the program and work with staff and the individual as they are transitioning, or if there are issues around behavior concerns. So,
Any questions for Sylvia? Thank you, Sylvia. Next, we'll move on to agenda item E and Bob Shively to discuss the payment amount in the amount of $2,212. Bob?
Requesting the board accept the federal fiscal year 17-18 hazardous materials emergency preparedness grant. This is a reimbursable grant. We were awarded up to $2,212. It would cover reimbursement for our local emergency planning committee Sarah Summit. It was held in October of 2017. Our actual expenses were $2,735.44. There is a 20% match, so actual reimbursement would be $2,188.35, leaving us with the $547.09. Performance period is October 1st of 2017 through September 30th of 2019. So we're eligible to apply that to October's summit that we held.
Any questions for Bob? Thank you, Bob. That's all I have to do.
Thank you, Sandy. Takes us to agenda item number 7, and we have Justin Miller joining us video teleconferencing. Justin, good morning.
Good morning.
And agenda item number 7 is action item request. It's a discussion of a letter to DEP and a Cumberland County's landfill permit modification application. Justin, would you please discuss?
Yes, thank you. So Cumberland County Landfill has submitted what's called a major permit modification application. They want to increase their average daily volume from 2,500 tons per day to 2,950 tons per day. And that is based on every quarter, so that average is based on the quarter. Host counties have the right to review applications submitted by disposal facilities. We have 60 days from the date that DEP receives the application. The letter to DEP was dated April 6th. I have reviewed the application with the authority and mainly looked at it from our requirement to provide disposal capacity and how it impacts our contract. Two things we noted. They had an incorrect statement that they say they have not reserved any capacity for Cumberland County waste, when in fact our contract with them, they commit to reserving 100% disposal capacity for our waste. So I just wanted to point that out. And the second thing, they give us $5,000 every year towards our household hazardous waste event. As part of this application, they have to do a farm's benefits analysis, and that could be considered a benefit in the entire application process. So we encourage them to mention that in the application as well. So those are the two things, and reviewed it with the authority that we noted in the application. Any questions?
Judd, one question. I saw you alluded in your note to us about the public input aspect. Can you just what have you heard in terms of local municipal input on the expansion out there?
Yeah, good question, Gary. So not only do host counties have the right to submit input, but so do host municipalities, and probably their input is weighed heavier than county input. The public also has the right to submit comments. We have spoken with the 2 host municipalities. Hopewell Township seemed okay with the application. They went for a volume increase back in 2011. They did a detailed traffic impact study, and they actually modeled it based on 2950, which at that time showed that the infrastructure could handle that capacity. They got their permit. So Hopewell was pretty content because they said, that previous study showed that it could handle it. North Newton, I talked to them. The reality, though, is it is going to add some additional trucks coming into the facility, and they said they had a little concern about that, and they would be submitting their comments to DEP regarding that.
Great.
I'm not a transportation expert, so as I said, I mainly looked at it from our waste disposal requirement. I think the municipalities give good input towards the transportation side.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioners?
Keith, is this something you have or should review?
I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember. I remember item 9. I don't remember what it said. Is that action report? I'll just take a quick look at it now.
Or we can take action contingent on review.
Justin, do you recall if this was sent through the solicitor's office?
Well, we reviewed the letter at the authority meeting where Jen Hipp attends the authority meeting, and she did have 2 minor comments, which I included in the letter. So Jen has.
That's good, Justin. Wasn't aware that she had reviewed.
I'll make a motion for approval of the letter.
second the motion. Is there any further questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Justin, if we could move on to agenda item number 8, which is discussion of the Electronics Recycling Center monetary policy and procedure.
Yes, so we developed a working draft monetary policy and procedure. Basically, it says who can handle the money at the facility and how it's to be handled. We've been tweaking that draft slightly as we've learned things as time has gone on. We feel it is now in a final format and condition appropriate to be adopted by the county. So we have a final draft ready for your adoption. And that does not need action today.
Right.
Any questions on the policy? Procedure? Okay, is that something we'll schedule for Monday? Is that what you were thinking,
Yes.
Justin? Commissioner? Okay. All right, then, Justin, could we move on to agenda item number 9, which is the modification to the scope of work to the recycling grant application, and you're also asking for action today, correct?
That's correct. So several weeks ago, you approved submitting what's called a disbursement request to get reimbursed for a leaf turner that we recently purchased for our municipal yard waste recycling program. So we submitted an application a long time ago. We had in there, we wanted to buy a leaf turner, and we also wanted to recover some money from a grinder we had purchased that exceeded the maximum allowable amount at that time. So all the costs were in there, even the description was in the application. When the DEP put together the contract, it inadvertently left out the description of the grinder. So when they went to review my disbursement request, they didn't see the text description of the grinder. They went back, they looked at the application, said, well, you had it in the application, we missed it. We just need to do a simple scope of work change to get this back into the contract. So they provided a scope of work change, and they're asking for a signature. And they did ask for it back within 10 days. That's why I'm asking for action today.
I don't see that. Okay.
All right, that's what I was just asking. Well, I don't see the letter. It says here a letter of mutual consent.
Yeah, I sent it up to the office.
Yeah, it's here. Commissioners, we'll make sure you get it.
This needs action today.
Action.
And they wait till Monday, Justin.
Our letter was dated the 24th. That'd be 10. Let me see, 20. Yeah, I think we'd be okay.
Well, we want to be sure,
Yeah.
so.
We could adopt it, pass it contingent on review.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to risk. It's for $240,000.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Jen said that she had forwarded that to you last week, or Tuesday, and she didn't see it.
Could you get us copies, Jen? Can we move to another item and we'll come back to this? That way we can take a look at it. Does that sound suitable to you?
Sure.
So we pass on item 9 for now.
Justin, we're going to circle back to that.
Okay. That'd be great.
That takes us to agenda item number 10, and Christine Bowden will discuss the capital project request for office chairs for aging. And this is an action requested today. Christine, hi again?
Yes. Yeah. We are asking to purchase office chairs to replace our current chairs that are over 20 years old, and some are worn to capacity. We are using one of the co-star vendors, Indiana and Corbett. We're asking for approval on today because our fiscal year ends on June 30th, and we would like to get those chairs in before that time, and the 2 days between now and Monday would help make that process possible.
And I believe this went through our capital committee, is that correct?
It did.
Which there weren't any concerns noted by the capital committee?
No.
So any questions or concerns of the commissioners?
I'll make a motion for approval.
I'll second the motion. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Chris. That takes us to Earl, and we'll discuss a capital request for a kitchen hood system renovation for the prison. Good morning, Earl.
Good morning. We're requesting a capital project approval to replace our kitchen hood controls. Right now, it's a standalone system. This project would incorporate that into the rest of the HVA system of the jail, which would fully automate that whole building, meaning our maintenance techs can control the hood system from their desktop computers or their smartphones if something happens at home. Right now, that standalone system can be problematic. When it goes down, it's very labor intensive to restart. And it goes down for any number of reasons. Maybe a piece of dust, who knows? But anyhow, there's breakers at 2 different locations in the building. You have to reprogram standalone system for the timing and things like that. So it's very labor intensive to start. The other thing that this project will do, we're going to be able to scrap the ultraviolet lighting system that's in place currently to clean that system. That system is not cost effective. Those ultraviolet light bulbs, I understand, are $1,500 a piece, and there's 20 of those in that ductwork. So you're supposed to replace those about every 7,000 hours. We can clean ductwork for less than $1,000 a year, and that's a biannual clean. So in the long run, this is going to pay for itself. Question?
Monday's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Earl. That brings us to item 11, which is Commissioner DiFilippo to discuss the appointments for the Aging Advisory Board. Commissioner?
Yeah, the board is recommending the appointment of Donna Wood. We have information on her background in our packet. She's a resident of Mechanicsburg. She owns a beauty school, been involved with the Department of Aging activities, has spoken at Holy Spirit Hospital, also Pennsylvania Capital on bills to help the Department of Aging. And the group feels that she would be a great addition to the board. So we'll just ask for recommendation on Monday, and if there's any questions between now and then, please let me know.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. And that takes us to Commissioners' liaison reports. I'll continue with Commissioner DiFilippo.
We received a letter here for item 9. You got a copy of it?
I do, I saw that one month.
Okay, we can circle back on that, all right?
Yeah. letters from Department of DEP. Looks like it's telling us what we need to do. And I would assume that we would have a letter to go back to them.
I think it's a matter of countersigning this letter on the
Okay.
second page, approving the additional language on the third page.
Okay. Here we go.
And then there's an attachment that seems to have more description.
That the third page is the actual amendment to the grant document.
So we're just asking for that to be included in the application now.
Correct.
Document the match.
So Keith, we would then just sign this
That's correct.
on page 2 if we agree to everything. It seems to be in order now.
Apparently they need 3 copies.
Okay.
Okay. Seems fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the,
Okay, I'll second the motion. Any questions or comments? And this is item 9 on our agenda. If you're all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, Ms. Moore. Thanks, Justin. You can let him know we approve. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, and for helping to circle back on that. So now we'll go to agenda item number 12 and the Commissioner's liaison reports. Commissioner DeFilippo.
Yeah, I have one item here. The library board met last Monday. Some of the highlights, the actions taken by the board, they approved policy revision to the lost claim, return and damaged materials. The finance committee approved recommendation to transfer $1 million from F&M money market account to a Pliget PLGIT prime account. Board also approved closing all libraries on November 7th of this year for staff development. John Graham Library's expansion project as required by the board policy provisions was approved. And the board also approved our revision to the First Amendment memorandum of understanding that included revising the process for establishing the Futures Task Group, and also by removing the one additional conditional grant that we felt was already being addressed regarding opiate education. Some other things to present is that the library was able to negotiate a greater discount on children's materials with Baker and Taylor. Our executive tech director was able to attend National Library Legislative Day in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday the 8th. She met with staff from Senator Casey, Senator Toomey, Representative Lou Barletta, and Representative Scott Perry. The collection services staff conducted a large-scale cleanup of bibliographic call numbers, and subfield F will be indexed in May. These 2 projects make materials easier to locate. And access to library apps is being added to the website. Our IT folks have been working together with the library folks to make this happen. Next meeting will be in July. June meeting will be canceled. And that's all I have for the library. I do want to report that I attended yesterday on behalf of the Board of Commissioners the Leadership Cumberland meeting where they had their graduation. Over 30 graduates were given their diploma. A lot of business leaders were there, and our Cumberland Area Economic Development Corporation was well represented. And it was a good event. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Eichelbarger.
Okay. I'd like to thank my colleagues for attending liaison meetings in my stead while I was out of the country. I don't think there was anything major going on in most of those that hasn't already come before us. The only things I have to add, we covered most of the recycling issues today that were course, the only thing to add is, I think I mentioned that Kevin McCardle has resigned from that board for other professional pursuits, so there's a vacancy there, and they're in the middle of that recruitment process, and there's been some exchange back and forth. I think they're going to fill that pretty quickly. So there'll be, that appointment will come to us for final approval after they provide a recommendation to us following the next authority meeting. In a related note, planning office also is going to be having their next educational session, the workshop on waste management and recycling, aimed mostly at municipal officials, and that'll be held June 28th, 3 to 5 at the Allen Road building. And Steve Hoffman from planning is taking the lead on that, so if there's any questions, I can either talk to Steve directly or I can convey those to him. The Planning Commission also is continuing their recruitment process. We have the vacancy created for the Pasco Rock League, and I know they've got a number of resumes that they're already looking. They want to move quickly, and obviously it's only a 7-member panel, so they want to fill that as quickly as possible. So we'll be hearing more on that shortly. That's really everything I have to check.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I'd like to request an executive session be held directly after this meeting regarding personnel issues. And also, too, is there any other business to bring forward before the Board of Commissioners today? Seeing none, I'll ask that we adjourn, and we will be reconvening in executive session momentarily. Thank you very much.
Thank you.